Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at all the stock standard ships that you can buy with money when you're first getting into the game. This won't be counting any of their player-made ships, we're just going to be looking at the prefabs that the devs have made for us. Let's get right on into it. So starting off, we're going to have the Vasama, and pretty much all the starter ships, like on the lower end of the price range, are pretty much noob traps, so you're going to want to stay away from them. The value of all the ships vary by market value, because whenever they were first available, the ship was around 190,000. Right now it's 152,000, likely to do with how often it's bought and then just the wealth of the station overall. Starship Vasama is more or less just a bike. Only really good for getting around a station, so that's really all you'd want to use it for. Then you go up to the Twin Vasama, and it is 243,000. And this ship kind of reminds me of the car that in Star Wars Episode 2 that Obi-Wan and Anakin were flying around Coruscant in. And so that's really all I can get in my mind when I'm looking at it. It's literally just two Vasamas stapled together though. Next ship is the Vasama Venet. It has a ship price of 550,000. It has a stasis field, and you can see like on these little display models, you're able to lock and unlock. So the only real difference is that and a few other parts you can see up there. Still only 2 seats, although with a lot of apparent upgrades. Got cargo, right, left, down. I'm not exactly sure what these do since the ship is fairly stationary. Could just be manual controls. Then out of the first line, if you really wanted to buy something cheaper, well, I mean, this isn't really cheaper. It's 812,000. You got the Pincer, and this ship utilizes these blocks right here, which are meant to just go out and fly the ship out and just grab the asteroid itself. Tractor beam, that's the word I'm looking for. Just kind of go out and take the asteroid itself and bring the whole asteroid back. Also has a mining laser right here. So possibly you could put some chests on it, so that way it has some decent storage, customized wise, and then when you're full of storage, just grab an asteroid. Though it's still not what you'd want to get. We'll get to what you actually we'll get around to what ship you actually want to be buying later on. The next ship on the line is Peon for 1,200,000 credits. This ship comes equipped with a mining laser, makes it look like it has wings. This one has box thrusters instead of triangle thrusters. This is the first ship so far that you're able to actually get inside of. So you press the button, open it up. It's very cramped in this ship. Got a few other moving parts that you got in here. And this one utilizes a much larger control board. Sit down. Got a power saving mode. Can control the hatch from back there, your lights, your mining laser. Next ship on the line is the Ocelot, 2,479,000 credits. This ship is starting to get a little bulkier. Got 4 box thrusters on the back. Right off the bat we can see hatch as well. Much more space. You got seating for your friends, various levels of chips and generators, and propellant. Have similar to the other one, various different stuff, like different switches. One issue we're going to have when looking at these ships though is some of these bigger ones like to reset. I'm not exactly sure why. You can see when you turn that on, it turns on that light, so that's pretty nice. Got different stuff over here that shows what you got. You can turn on and off your generator. And it's a pretty standard ship, just doors and lights. The next ship we got in this line is the Gopher, 1,903,000 credits. This one features an extended cockpit made of glass on the front, omnidirectional view that allows you to see much better. Got various different stuff all over the side. Got 4 box thrusters in the back right here. This one does not feature the back door. Instead, it has side doors and 2 slightly upgraded hatch. Have one on this side as well. Have an eco mode. Got lights, pretty standard. Got a lot more tank racks back here. Got a button that'll bring your chair back to you, so that because it's not really going to be very easy to get in there. So that's the first time we've seen that have a rail system for some of the parts. You can see that actually being really helpful later on when people are making turret-based things, so that they can pull out of the turret and not sit in it. All in all, pretty standard ship. Looks more transport than anything though, or at least something that you can upgrade off of. Next ship has a slightly drop in price, the Tugger, 358,000. This is actually one of the first ships I bought. It's kind of like a micro version of like the best ship that you want to get starting out. Has 2 of these crates right there. Has this block right here, which allows you to tether to it, so that whenever you have a mining backpack, it'll pull the ore that you're mining into there. So it's really just tried and true a mining ship for manual hand mining, which really is all you need right now. So this is one of the starships you can get that actually would be recommended. And it's pretty decent. You got 4 batteries on it, so you can't go out very far, but you can go out decent. The next ship we'll be looking at is the Hauler for 901,000 credits. This is the popular demand, community voted best ship to get after grinding up your money. You can see how to grind money in the previous video that I'll leave a link in the description. But this is really what you want to get after you follow those instructions, and the video one that you see at the end of the video has much more crates than the Tugger. It's got 3x2x3, so much more carrying capacity. And it's only a 1-seater. If you wanted, you could always add more chairs on it after the fact, so that your friends don't fall off while you're flying. All in all, it's pretty much the best ship to start off with. You can easily, if you get the right ore, make more than the ship is even worth in one haul. But you can also easily only make pennies if you get the wrong ore. So really have to know what you're getting. This next ship, the Zillant, at 2,391,000, is personally my favorite ship that is on sale for looks. Kind of reminds me of General Grievous's ship a little bit. Doesn't have as much stuff on the back, but still really like the design. If I wanted one of the stock ships to make a fighter out of, it'd probably be this one, because it has quite a bit of thrusters on the back of it. Very angular designs that I'm a fan of. A lot of styling designs that would also add at least an extra little layer of armor if they were to be hit. And let's see, also has a walk-in cockpit. Press that and it'll open up top-wise, and you can go down in it, see more buttons, do more things. And even though it's a fighter, you can have some of your friends tag along with you. All in all, it is pretty much styling and profiling. This is what you got to travel around with if you've just got money to burn. Next ship is the Kodiak for 1,800,000 credits. This one sports 4 box thrusters and an extended cabin that allows for better directional viewing. Also has a secondary cockpit as well here. It's the first ship that we've seen that on. And its door is somewhere. Seem to have lost it. Possibly on the roof, unless those are it. I don't see a button. Yeah, so here's the only button I've found so far. Alright, so there's the roof. It just has a hatch. Very hard to get into this one if you're trying to raid it. Very easy to defend unless they cut through the side. We got the co-pilot up there. We got these extra guys over here. Definitely looks like a ship that can be made modular and put some turrets on the outside, because you definitely have the viewing ports for a side swivel turret. Got the lights, got the hatch up there we already got open, and just got a lot of stuff packed into here. A lot of these starter ships are very crowded and packed, and due to that, really anywhere they get shot, it's going to cripple something. So that's one big drawback of these starter ships. Next ship is the Carrier for 1,809,000. This one has 4 box thrusters, and you can see 6 outer layered cargo crates. Also sports some tanks in it. Has tethers for manual mining. Sorry about that. Some of these ships don't, the bigger you get, don't like it when you mess with them in the market view. Also has the ability to carry multiple asteroids or very large asteroids in it. So this is a very nice ship as well. Has a dual pilot system kind of gimbaled on right here, and they are attached to a mining laser on the front, so you are able to manually do your mining and never actually have to leave the ship as much. Also favors having multiple people in use, as well as the 4 box thrusters that we see on the side. We take a closer look, it's really only one in either direction, so this one has a little bit more stopping power of movement than others. As you can see, some of the others, it's pretty much almost entirely forward thrust with very little things for stopping. This guy knows you're going to be carrying some heavy stuff, so inertia will be a bitch and that you'll need to stop. And also do that, adds 4 triangle thrusters so that your acceleration doesn't bottom out. Oh, it's a pretty decent ship, especially when you get a crew going with you. Next ship is the Hedron. We're starting to get into a little bit more expensive of ships. The next handful of ships are going to be much bigger. This one's price is at 5 million. And let's wait a second for it to fix. And you can see this one has got 4 box thrusters in either direction, so lots of starting and stopping power. Like I said, the bigger ships you go, the more that they start needing to do some resetting. It might also be because of other players playing with things in the market. This one's got a fairly large door. It's going to be a little bit of a pain to kind of look at these because of the current state of the game. They just keep resetting for some reason. You got a sliding door, and got a door on either side, and got 1 seat, and you have massive control panel and YOLO potential. I got the accelerator, I would assume here. It's dead manned. Got a lot of chippage in here. As you can see, we have tons of buttons that we can rig up. Have a lot that are already rigged up. Not exactly sure what they do. Location, station, cap. Location, capital, tunnel. Not exactly sure what those would do. Not too knowledgeable about YOLO myself, but this is definitely the miner that you would want to take if you went to actually do things. But I don't even actually think this is a miner. It's more of a going around the place ship. I don't really see any crates in here. Not to say that there aren't any under the floorboards, but I'm not seeing any crates. It may just be that this is a fast ship. I think someone actually told me this is one of the faster ships. It seems like this ship is really more for speed. Oh dear lord, look at how many thrust is on the back. Definitely this is just a ship for being really fast. You can see some examples of being able to put some logoing on the side of your ships there. A lot nicer than some players have made, that's for sure. But really it's just, to me it looks more like a command and control and just speed ship, meant to get you from one place to another really fast. Next ship we got here is the Romulus. We'll start seeing a few more ships similar than this Also taking some Roman names. This one's about 4 million in credits. Sports quite a bit of box thrusters. Also, just like the Hedron, has 4 in either direction, as well as having some triangle thrusts on the back. Not as much as the Hedron, mind you. However, this one has mining capacity. We can see on top it has quite a few of these blocks right here, trying to make it where you can grab up probably at least a few asteroids and carry them along with you. This one also has side doors, so it's walk-inable. Have areas for chip slots. Have extra seating for 4, and 1 main command and control. You can see that it has buttons for the tractor beams. Since there's nothing up there right now, it just shoots up into space. And I imagine this flips the chair around. That's very nice. I like that. So that you have all your piloting stuff over there, and whenever you're actually trying to maneuver for the asteroid, you got a glass ceiling and a bunch of switches so you can better see what you're doing. It looks like this ship more specializes in hauling pieces. While I say it's for mining, there aren't really any crates on it, so you're really probably more going to see this used in wreckage and salvage. I can see someone trying to, let's say another one of the Romuluses, see it broke in half, and the ship could just come in and hook onto it and take it back. So that's really probably going to be more of a scrapper ship. Next ship we got here is the Urchin, 4.5 million credits. We can see right off it has a gimbaled mining laser on the front for articulate mining from the seat. We have 2 box thrusters on the front, and we also have quite a few triangle thrusters on the back. So mostly forward thrust. You're going to be trusting on your heavy weight to slow you down on this thing once you start filling up. Got a door up top, as well as a fairly large stasis field on the back. This can either be used probably for asteroids or for salvage. So you could see this ship as being your go-to if you're wanting multi-purpose, if you're wanting to go salvage and maybe grab some ore on the same run. And we can see standard stuff we see in most ships in the back. The ability to have a lot of screens up in here. Right now they don't do anything. It's pulled down to open, but they don't really do anything since we don't own it. Got this thing right here. Appears to be another mining laser, possibly a bottom hatch that opens up and it slides out on rails by the looks of it. So I would assume that would go into the stasis field down there. You would just kind of open this and send it down to just mine your asteroid on the move, so you don't have to stay very still. We have a large YOLO button board up here, similar switch setup that we've seen in other ships. Got a signal, strength plugged up, and a destination, possibly indicating that you'll be able to set some form of waypoint. Still have the same LCD screens that a lot of other ships will have, and it also looks like it has secondary piloting setups where you have different modes that you can switch between, where this seat can just go down between the 2 of them. I'd imagine this is chair button. And judging by the laser being down here, I assume this is probably for the laser, and it is. You are able to move this laser around, able to point it up and down, and we're able to shoot ourselves, I'm sure. That one doesn't seem to do much. Seems like this one isn't dead manned, so you're going to have to actually move it back where you want it. The rest of these are dead manned. That's pretty neat, having a separate seat for the pilot to do the mining. And let's see if we can find a button to do this guy. Might be downstairs. Not sure. Definitely can tell it's a door though, and it comes down here and you can mine up your asteroids. And this are potentially... Yep, there we go. That'll open that. assuming drop it down with... No? Alright. Controls don't seem to be working very well, but you get the idea. Forward miner, as well as being able to grab a whole asteroid and then keep going while the main pilot is working on other things. Assistants can be mining other things. Next ship is the Pioneer for 2.8 mil. Last time I looked at this, I believe it came off as more of an APC or troop carrier or exploratory vessel. I feel like if it was an exploratory strictly, it wouldn't have as many seats as you'll see. Has quite a bit of thrusting power on the back, and seeing as how we're not expecting to fill it full of ore, this thing is fairly fast. 2 side openings, 4 personnel seating arrangements, as well as quite a few different options for YOLO up front. Looks like there's also a hatch to go into the back room, side sliding door. Really like those. And it seems to be mostly a YOLO room where you can put your chips in. And really this just strut comes off to me more as a troop transport. Maybe if you're trying to move people from one location to another quickly and don't really want to take out a miner, this is about what you'd want. At this stage of the game, probably not what you're going to want to use though, unless your plan is to put guns on it and let that be a raiding crew that goes out to try and do the boarding action. Next ship we got here is the Vector. They have 2.799 mil. Features an extended, partially open extended cockpit. Got a couple options as far as buttons go, not as much as we've seen elsewhere. However, we have the side opening doors, which are always nice. And for thrust, we have 4 box thrusters. So pretty standard as far as thrust goes. Looks fairly small though, so you'll probably get more bang for your buck out of those. Like I said, standard cockpit and standard chipset and tanks. Looks really more for one person trying to go a farther distance. All in all, pretty standard ship. Mostly if you have a single player that is trying to go out farther, faster. Next ship, we start seeing a return to the Roman names with Remus. Got 4.5 mil credits for this. We see 4 on either side, forward and back, for box thrusters, as well as 1 extra for forward on the top, as well as a bunch of triangle thrusters on the very back. This one features some hatches on the back so that your chippage and other parts are accessible from the outside. Not exactly sure why you'd want that, probably just a room saving mechanism. We got the tractor beams on the bottom this time instead of the top, as well as this one having a mining laser, unlike the last one. Features a rotating chair by the looks of it, and the ability to mine what you've caught with your tractor beam on the bottom. This one features a fairly large door, standard dropping style, but this one comes down at an angle, parallel right there, instead of just coming straight out. As you get in these more expensive ships, you see them made a little nicer. See various carrying capacity for players back here. Chips right there, and the ones that are facing out as well down there. Probably have those hatches just so that they could maintain a certain space. Personally, I would have just rounded it off back here so you could access it from the inside. Has dual sightage. Has the 4 back chairs back there, 4 up here. Got the assistant chair and the pilot chair. So have quite a bit of seating in this ship. I'm assuming if you have a fairly large crew and wanting to go out and do some heavy hauling. I wouldn't really see a point in having that many people in the ship though, however, unless your job is going to be scrapping, because you don't really need that many for the mining right now. Next ship is the Surf, 2.280 mil credits. And this one features good old glass bottom and top, has a thick frame around it, so fairly reinforced by the looks of it. We do see 4 forward pushing box thrusters and 1 big box made of triangle thrusters on the back. So quite a bit of thrust for such a small ship. And let's see where the cockpit is, how you get in this thing. I don't necessarily see a door in there. Oh, probably a hatch up here. Yep, and this is one of the more rare entry types I've seen on these starter ships. I think it's the only second one that I've seen that has it. Standard hatch on the top. Make it a little harder to figure out how to get in. Some of the bolt work is to be desired on the inside, seeing as to how it kind of pokes out. I'm not exactly sure if that's intentional. It's supposed to look like something. Fairly standard driving setup. Fairly ergonomic in here, not much going on. Mostly just thrusters and thrusts, a little bit of YOLO. No real utility purpose can be seen here, so it's really more of a getting around ship by the looks of it, and it seems to be the case for the getting around ships. They're fairly small with a lot of forward thrust and with just these little minor thrust all over them. Next ship is the Mason for 1 mil. This one has a little bit lower price range. This is 1 mil, and for that you're getting a fairly extensive driving setup. Have some setup for the laser that you got here by the looks of it. Other than that, fairly stock standard, fairly small ship. The hauler's still pretty much your best bet right now for what your money's worth. Unless you just you're rich and you want to play around with other ships. This is a cheap entry to trying to play around with a ship that has a mining laser on it. Yeah, all in all, not really what I would go for at this stage unless it had a lot more storage on it. Next ship is Nautilus Cargo at 2.3 mil. So in the name it says it's a cargo ship. We got the 5 forward thrust. We got tail back here. It's kind of similar looking to the Remus, but cheaper and less going on for it. Got some of the tractor beams, not as much as the other ships. Side opening doors. They're reinforced with paneling on the outside. We do have a mining laser and a large flap that opens on the bottom, and 2 seats for extra people to come with you. So all in all, it is pretty much just a ship for grabbing large asteroids and using the mining laser to pick them apart. But really looks like a little too much ship for not a lot going on. It's priced for 2.3 mil, so it's not that expensive once you start mining. But once you start mining, you'll have so much more money that you'd rather just custom make your ship, honestly. And this doesn't really have much going for it for that price and size and bulkiness. Unless you were going to just take a lot of the bottom. The most I could see maybe would be if you retrofitted it and changed the bottom to be gun mounts, and then having this be a fairly large gunship, then it could probably be worth it. And now we're down to our final 2 ships. First is the Ithaca 1 for 5 million. This one features large side opening gates. A little buggy there. There's a lot of space in this one. This is really more of a cargo area. I mean, just like an area you can put some stuff in, probably. Go up here, have the actual seats. all in all, this one just looks like your standard ship for getting around, just a little bigger than normal. Nothing really that makes it stand out in my opinion. It's got a few extra doors. Open here instead of the main door. All in all, just pretty standard wide boy. Have quite a bit of triangle thrusters on the back. Got some ship back here. Really, this is more of a ship you would get to customize, in my opinion. There's not much going on for it to make, to be worth getting right now. And that brings us to our final and most expensive pre-made ship that we can get at the Star Station. At 12.4 mil, we have the Ithaca 4. So it's a fairly large ship. Fairly large ship. And let's try and get into this guy. Let's see, we found one door right here on the very back. Top opening. Let's get in. Let's see, we got a lot of doors, we got a lot of space. Definitely a ship you want to get if you aren't very good at making ships but know the basics and want to retrofit it into something. Let's see, cargo door. So this is where you can. Looks like this is more of a cargo kind of ship by that. Top dock. So we got a pilot seat here. Quite a bit of YOLO. Not as much as some others though. We do have whatever that is. Let's see. Just little hatches that cover up some of the wiring work by the looks of it. A lot more TLCs went into this ship, at least trying to make it look nice. Have stairs of all things. Have another room up here looking more of command and control. Let's see. Angle up, angle down. Target frequency. Whatever that did. Yeah, it looks like a good ship for if you're wanting to, if you have a lot of money to blow and you want to retrofit it into something. Definitely wouldn't use it as a battleship though. The armor is pretty much paper thin, as per most of these ships. All in all, if you want a good ship for your money, for your grind, the hauler is pretty much the way to go. And some of the other stuff is probably fun to play around with and experiment with. I'm sure they have more purpose than I'm giving it credit for, but at this point in the game, not really seeing much. But if you wanted to actually get a decent ship for your money's worth, you'll probably want to hand make it purpose built for what you're doing. But yeah, the hauler is pretty much the best thing right now, because the point of where you can get anything is just make money, and you'll want to get the hauler because it's pretty much the best bang for your buck for hauling large amounts of ore in the early game after your initial grind, and from there you can make even larger hauler style ships for ore. I haven't really seen much of a use for the mining laser or other things right now. It's been mostly just seeking out the expensive ores and manually pulling them in, and then getting hundreds of millions on a run. But yeah, if you haven't seen the other video on how to properly make money, I recommend checking that out. I'll put its link in the description, like I said. Be sure to subscribe. I'm planning on uploading fairly often as well, and just uploading a lot of tutorials and like how-tos, and just kind of showing off what things are and where you can get them and do them. I also upload clan interviews. If you don't have a clan and you're interested in finding one, those are pretty cool to check out as well. All in all, I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in the next one.